We are 2 days away from the trade deadline, and we're a top team in the East. We're currently the 2 seed, sitting at a 35-17 record, and honestly, things couldn't be better. Well, actually they could. Remember Donovan Mitchell? His Jazz beat us last episode, but surely they've collapsed now and we can trade for him. Okay, apparently not. They're currently 24-29 and only about a game and a half outside of the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell came out in a press conference a few days ago addressing the trade rumors surrounding him. He said, "I'm dedicated to this team and this organization, and we had a tough start to the season, sure, but I love playing with these guys and for our fans. I signed an extension here for a reason. I want to stay in Utah and bring this city a championship." So yeah, guess I can say I'm not too surprised with this, considering he's considered a pretty loyal guy. That sucks for us. I mean, we're on top of the conference, sure, but it would have been really nice to add him to our young core. We'd have a young big three here for years to come, but he's gone out of trade contention for us, so what do we do now? Well, I was looking around the conferences. There isn't really anyone in the West who has a star at the bottom who could be a realistic target for us, but the East is very interesting. Here you can see both the Wizards and the Bucks are absolutely awful, but still better than the Pistons. But guess who are on these teams? On the Wizards, we've got Bradley Beal, who's been rumored for a trade for a long time now, and I'm sure you've seen some Hawks rumors in there. Word around the league is that he's grown really frustrated with his team's inability to win, and he's strongly considering opting out of his contract at the end of the year. So the Wizards front office is kind of in panic mode, aggressively shopping him. But we aren't the only suitors for Beal, and there's really only one or two worth mentioning. All the other teams rumored for him have already made moves to fill that position, but the Miami Heat are not one of those teams, and they've been chasing Beal for a while now. They've got plenty of good players to fill the trade with, even if they're lacking in the picks department. Tyler Hero, who has emerged as a good offensive player, would be the center of a potential trade, with Malik Beasley likely also being involved and whoever else might be necessary to match salaries. I mean, it's a pretty good offer, but the Raptors are also in this sweepstakes. The Raptors want to take advantage of having Giannis, and having Siakam next to him is not an ideal fit at all. As far as I know, they have all their picks, and Siakam is the best player currently being offered, but he's also only 1 year younger than Beal. So it really depends on how many picks we could offer and stuff like that, because Hero is currently better than Hunter as well. The only thing we really have going for us is the picks, honestly. But if we do strike out on Beal, we're not out of luck entirely. There's one more guy that we could end up trading for. The Bucks are also awful, and they are also SOL, considering they traded a bunch of their picks for Drew Holiday, and then Giannis left. So they don't have many picks, and they don't have many young players. There are also almost no suitors for Middleton right now, so it would likely cost Hunter, Bogdan, possibly Rondo for salary, and maybe 1 first-round pick, possibly 2 at the very, worst. I mean, Middleton will be a free agent within the next couple of years, so it makes sense to get a solid young wing with some potential, as well as a first-round pick out of it, especially since they're bad. Maybe it would require 2 picks, who knows, but we are getting to that point where we do need to start consolidating our assets. Trey and Herter are due for their extensions this offseason, with Hunter and Cam coming in the next. We can't pay everyone. Sure, there are other guys on some pretty big contracts, but they only go on for another year or two, and they will likely demand less money on their next deal, at least in Middleton's case. There's no way that we can get worse for making one of these trades, but there's definitely some questions as to whether we can pull one off competing with these other teams. Like I said, the Heat have the best player, and I don't really know their pick situation currently, so they could be the favorite for Bradley Beal. Same with the Raptors. They have all their picks plus a player better than DeAndre Hunter. But Middleton might be our guy. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to go over. I think at this point we've definitely got to be a finals contender. Maybe not one of the favorites, but we're definitely in the conversation. One of these moves surely puts us over the edge. Obviously, Beal would be better than Middleton, but we'll take what we can get at this point. But both of those moves give us a real chance to make and win the finals, I think. We'll be getting through the rest of the season in our next couple of episodes. That's about it. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. And y'all, have a good one.